What happens when your cat becomes a global superstar? Your cat does something weird. Maybe she sits in a cardboard box and refuses to move. Maybe she gives you a look so deeply unimpressed that it stops you mid-sentence. You grab your phone, you film it, you post it, and then you go to bed. But at 2:17 a.m., your phone starts buzzing. Then it doesn't stop. By morning, your cat has 40,000 views, and strangers from 7 countries are commenting that she's changed their life. By the end of the week, a brand is sliding into your DMs with a deal. And you're standing in your kitchen thinking, wait, is my cat famous now? So what actually happens next? Let's start small, like one viral video small. Here's something most people don't realize. Viral cat fame doesn't usually start with a plan. It starts with a moment that nobody expected, including the owner. Grumpy Cat's real name was Tardar Sauce. Her owner's brother posted one photo on Reddit in 2012. Not a campaign, not a strategy, just a photo of a cat who looked like she'd been personally offended by the concept of Mondays. Within 48 hours, it had over 1 million views. Within weeks, the phone calls started. Good Morning America, talk shows, brand deals. Tabitha Bundesen, Grumpy Cat's owner, quit her job as a waitress within days of that first post. One photo, one cat, one very specific face. That's not luck. Well, it's partly luck, but there's something deeper going on here, and it has to do with your brain. Scientists have actually studied why humans can't stop watching cat content, and the answer is surprisingly biological. When you interact with a cat, even just petting one briefly, your brain releases oxytocin. That's the same chemical that surges when a mother holds her newborn, the same one that fires when old friends hug. Researchers in Japan confirmed this in 2021, measuring a measurable hormone spike in owners after just a few minutes with their cats. And here's the wild part. Watching cat videos triggers some of the same pathways. You don't even need to be in the room. Your screen is enough. That's why you can't scroll past a cat clip. Your brain isn't being lazy. It's being chemically pulled in. Now imagine harnessing that reaction. At scale. Globally. That's what happens when your cat goes viral. Let's talk about what fame actually looks like from the inside, because it's not what you'd expect. When Lil Bub, a tiny cat born with several genetic conditions that left her with enormous eyes and a tongue that permanently stuck out, started appearing on her owner Mike Brodowski's Tumblr in 2011, it was meant to be funny. Something for friends. Then Reddit found her. Then BuzzFeed wrote about her. Then Good Morning America called. Brodowski later said he was genuinely overwhelmed. He considered walking away from it entirely. Because here's what nobody tells you. When your cat goes viral, your life goes viral too. Your inbox becomes unmanageable. Strangers feel personally connected to your pet. Companies want deals. TV shows want appearances. And your cat, who mostly wants to nap and knock things off shelves, has no idea any of this is happening. Lil Bub eventually got a documentary. It premiered at the Tribeca Film Festival in 2013. A cat documentary. At Tribeca. That is not a sentence anyone predicted in the year 2000. But here's the twist nobody talks about. The fame isn't really about the cat. It never was. Think about what made Grumpy Cat work. It wasn't just the face, it was that the face said something we all felt but couldn't quite say ourselves. Tired, done, unimpressed with everything. In 2012, the world was still climbing out of a recession. People were exhausted. And here was a small cat making exactly the face they were making on the inside. Lil Bub worked because she was small and imperfect and joyful anyway. That meant something to people. Nala Cat, a Siamese tabby mix adopted from a shelter in 2010, became the most followed cat on Instagram, a Guinness World Record holder, because her story was a rescue story. People weren't just following a pretty cat. They were following proof that discarded things can become loved things. The cat is the face, but the feeling is the product. Now let's zoom out, because cat fame isn't just heartwarming, it's an industry. The global pet influencer market was valued at $24 billion as of 2024, and cats are at the center of it. The top cat accounts on Instagram can charge up to $30,000 per sponsored post, not per campaign, per single post. Nala Cat, with 4.5 million Instagram followers, has partnered with brands like Friskies and PetSmart. Her estimated net worth sits around $100 million, built entirely on the back of one shelter cat with big eyes and a good agent. Grumpy Cat's commercial empire, at its peak, included over 400 licensed products: t-shirts, mugs, plush toys, a New York Times best-selling book translated into 15 languages, a Lifetime Christmas movie, a line of iced coffee drinks, and a Honey Nut Cheerios commercial. Her talent manager at the time estimated the brand had generated around $100 million in revenue, all from one Reddit photo. This isn't internet curiosity anymore. This is business, and brands know it. Because here's something interesting about cat influencers specifically. Their engagement rates regularly outperform human influencers. The average human influencer on Instagram gets about 2.4% engagement, likes, comments, shares relative to followers. Pet accounts routinely hit above 7%. People trust a cat's lifestyle more than a celebrity's. They feel less sold to. The cat isn't pretending to like the food. The cat is just eating the food. And that authenticity, or the feeling of it, is worth billions of dollars in marketing budgets. But here's the part that actually hits different. None of these cats signed up for this. Tartar Sauce didn't walk into a talent agency. Lil Bub didn't pitch herself to BuzzFeed. They were just living their lives, sleeping, blinking slowly, occasionally knocking something off a table, while the world decided they were icons. And the owners had to figure out, in real time, how to run what is essentially a small media company while also just being a person who loves their cat. Some handled it brilliantly, some didn't. One thing they all have in common: nothing prepared them for it. Because there's no rule book for managing a globally famous animal. There's also a stranger side to this nobody likes to mention. The fans. Cat celebrities attract followings that behave more like fandoms than pet admirers. When Grumpy Cat died in May 2019 at age 7, the internet mourned like a public figure had passed. News outlets ran obituaries. Tributes trended worldwide. Strangers cried for a cat they had never met, whose grumpy face was the result of feline dwarfism, who, by all accounts from her owner, was actually very sweet and loved being held. The grief was real, though, Sam. That's the thing. Scientists call it a parasocial bond, a one-sided emotional relationship that your brain processes as real, even though the other person, or in this case the other cat, doesn't know you exist. Millions of people had a parasocial relationship with a cat. TikTok cat videos have racked up tens of billions of views. New cat accounts go viral every single week. One cat with the right story in the right moment can move more people than 100 traditional ad campaigns. Your cat is asleep in a patch of sunlight, completely unbothered. Your cat didn't set out to be a global superstar. She set out to sit in a box and be weird. Turns out that was enough. Turns out it was exactly what the world needed. She just didn't feel like explaining it to you. If you like this video, you'll probably like that one. Thanks for watching. Subscribe if you haven't.